Welcome to the Beacon by Soul 33 teachings for your past, present and future. Good morning everyone. It's the 8th of April 2024. It is the night of the new moon and the solar eclipse. So wherever you are, we've got a lot to talk about and recap over what has been going on for everybody. Now, if you're listening to this on the Beacon app, on Spotify, on YouTube, please do me a favor and like, subscribe, follow, tag, share, let people know that these Monday Mantra lessons exist. It helps me to grow this platform for you and to provide more resources on the app to help your soul progression. This has been a very, very intense eclipse season. I let you know how I was feeling the week before with the eclipse energy at that time. And this one again has brought up different things in all of us. I set the Monday mantra last week as I make choices based on what I have in front of me now. I make choices based on what I have in front of me now. And this I could see coming up in my own life in so many ways, because Mercury retrograde is really a time of review, reflection, reprioritization, reevaluation. And we need to sometimes look at how we're communicating in all ways to see how that manifests. So conscious communication, a conscious awareness of the choices that we're making now. And this includes how we think and respect ourselves. When I was going through clients last week, and as you know with my work, I don't remember a whole lot of things from sessions because I'm not made to, otherwise I'll be holding on to people's energy for longer than I need to. But what I did notice is that the choices that were coming up for the clients that I saw last week were choices in how they were going to navigate their life going forward, like what is truly important now, doing the right thing or doing something that's going to give you a quick benefit but not give you the long term. So what I realized from the Monday mantra last week is while Spirit was asking us to consider the choices that we're making now, it was actually a review of what we're doing now is paving the way for the future. I noticed also with clients last week that karma is beginning to balance itself out. And you're going to see this in the media, in the world, where people are being called out for things. People are losing their identity because they have been promoting themselves to be one thing, but then there's evidence coming out that they're not. And now we're really being looking at how to actually respect ourselves, because the self-respect that we have are enabling us to make choices that are for the highest good of everyone and that's not hurting anybody or coming from people that we are loyal to that have power over us. And I want to talk to you about that a little bit more in a minute. So I've written here, we don't need to worry, as over the last month we've been restoring our power, and that was through March. Somehow, some way we were restoring our power and rising up in a way that enables us to be less dependent but more interdependent. So dependent on who? And then now how do we work together to get where we need to go? Finances again came up last week. I was meeting people who were worried about money, and remember what I've told you to start saying to yourself: you live in excess, you live in abundance. I live in excess, I live in abundance. Because remember, it's from the inside out that we manifest and that we align with what is there for us. The review of your choice and how you think about money is something that can be done without having anything. It comes from you. Delays, I found myself last week having to rejig my calendar, moving things around. But when I did move things around, everything fell into place, meaning like in my mind, I'd wake up in the morning and I'd be like, I need to move this personal appointment. And then when I did that, there was like another like emotion that took place where someone would get in touch with me, and it was actually at the time that I moved the appointment. So there was space for everything. So you're going to be finding that space is being created for you to move things around, and postponements are to align you with the right time. We want to choose to surround yourself with people that are positive, where you feel comfortable being who you are. This is also something I noticed last week. What we all need to do, and what I do very well because it's part of my gift, is look at the connections that you have in your life. Everything is connected. Someone who has a business that's not working out, you need to look at what your relationship energy is doing, because there's some block that is preventing you from moving forward, and it's not actually coming from the place that you think. So often I'll get questions like, oh no, my relationship's fine, but then I'm feeling like that person actually has a single energy rather than an energy aligned with being interdependent with their partner. And if you can't be interdependent with your partner, you can't be interdependent in creating a business where people are going to see you as someone that they can work with, or a service that they can utilize, or a product that they want to use. Surrounding yourself with people that are positive and where you are comfortable in being who you are is really an important aspect of being in your place of power. So a review of friends and acquaintances is happening. I had clients last week who are rethinking their friendships because they're realizing that some people that they've been connected to are not good people. They perhaps have been involved with behaviors that are not ethical. And this is what I mean, that if we choose to do that, it is still a choice that we are making to be involved with things that are unethical. Therefore, there is going to be a consequence on you because you are somehow involved in that. This is just an example, but you have to make this conscious choice. Like, I don't want to be involved with this person and this group anymore because they're not doing something that's ethical or whatever, because the karma will have a roll-on effect towards you. Doing what is necessary, but also doing it from a place of being unapologetically you. I found myself, and with this eclipse energy, that we're really having to be ourselves, speaking up for what we want, but doing it in a way that isn't aggressive. And it's all a review of the bigger picture for the choices that we're making now. Because if we choose to not say certain things, or if we choose not to address certain things, there is going to be consequences for that in the future. But this is why a review of the bigger picture is needed, because you're working towards something. Even though there's no destination as such, we're all evolving and growing in who we're relating to in our lives, and also for ourselves. This was a fascinating thing that I was looking at as the week got on. I have put here, new thoughts and ideas are coming in, and Spirit says we're allowed to change our minds about something you thought you wanted but may not want anymore. I realized for me, this is actually quite a big thing that I didn't want. There was, Gaia has been very driven and motivated, and there are just things in my life that I want now that I didn't think I wanted. And it's a big, a higher purpose connection in terms of people are changing their minds. I don't want to be involved with that anymore. Oh, I've got a bit of fame, don't really care for that anymore, or I do want it, or whatever. So look at what your mind is changing on in terms of what you thought you wanted and what you do want now. This is what this Mercury retrograde period's about, and it's wedged in with these eclipses. So it's these real breaking of patterns and reviewing of everything that is important. There is polarity of doing things and allowing delays to give you time rather than holding you back. Work with polarity of independence and also being around people that lift you up. The push and pull will take you to where you need to go. This is the fascinating thing about life. You can be just going about your business feeling really wonderful and great, and then in an instant something changes something, and then you're in a minor conflict or you're having to go through something. So I always try and observe, why am I feeling this way? What do I need to do now? What is the opportunity here? I put up a Monday mantra micro lesson. I'm doing them a bit differently now with the closed captions on there, so it's easy for you to read, so you don't need to listen to my voice if you don't want to. But it was talking about how we're communicating and restoring our power. And there are opportunities that are being given to us where we are moving from a place of being dependent on that person and dependent on that person's reactions to us, where they're going to have to start collaborating with us. It's a two-way thing. So your choices are based on what you have in front of you now, but they're going to determine whether you're going to be living in excess or abundance. And I'm not talking about financial excess or abundance. Is someone boxing you in to a certain area in your life that you're actually wanting to break out from the box and be not restricted anymore? This is where we have to review our communication in terms of what we are asking for. So if conflicts are coming up in your life, it's probably asking you to go, where am I boxed in? Why am I triggered by this? What do I need to ask for to be in excess and be in abundance? The card, the soul progression oracle card that I picked for the collective was sacred. Every word you think and say turns into an action. We need to view everything we communicate as sacred spells, words of affirmation that become a reality. What you ask for internally is what you're going to receive externally. It's time to be quiet and review what your soul is saying and not in your mind. We are being asked to take time and surrender to new perspectives. This is what this eclipse energy is about. You may find yourself rehashing old things and then coming to this loggerhead within yourself going, well, how do I get a fresh perspective on this? And see that perspective as a sacred step, a sacred spell moving forward. Mind your words and allow them to align with your actions. This card comes up to remind you that the step you choose to take is a sacred step and based on how you truly feel about yourself and your life. Choices that are ethical, choices that are morally right with you, choices that align with your values, choices that align with your teammates, whether it's your family, partner, colleagues, whoever, being on the same page, even though everyone does things differently. I talked about so I put up the April meditation, and obviously the meditations come to me through my guides, and then I record them in a way that is palatable for everybody because I'm the one that holds the energy for that experience to be created for you. And it was really fascinating for me because I saw all these diamonds and rhombuses. So diamonds 3D, rhombuses, which is 2D, and they had the four sides, and it was coming up like a sacred geometry, like a code. And I was thinking, why are they showing me this? And then my spirit guides were asking me to walk through it. And then I realized it was for the fourth of the fourth portal. I was shown these different sized four-sided diamonds and rhombuses because it was the frequency for the portal that was opening up on that day. Four sides, all four elements, all four planets of Venus, Mars, Saturn, and Neptune aligned. The fourth of the month, the fourth month of the year, 4 days till the solar eclipse from the fourth. The four is also connected to Rahu, which is the Vedic astrology of representing the solar eclipse, which has come today, which is Monday the 8th. And that's another big portal. So today, if you're listening to this on Monday, you're wanting to do the Rahu meditation that I've put as part of your homework. And I've suggested that you do that till the 10th and then stop because that energy will be post-eclipse after that. The choices we are making are either going to create loyalty or karmic war. This is the karma stuff that I'm talking about. I've seen past lives in this last week of karma from lifetimes before coming in and affecting the client now. So every choice that we make is building karma. Karma for ourselves, karma for our children, karma for the people we choose to be intimately involved with, karma for the people that we choose to be in friendships with. We really are having to respect ourselves in a way that's also going to respect everybody else that you're surrounded by. On the 5th, this actually is making more sense to me now. It's so funny, isn't it? I believe it was on the 5th. I woke up with the 5 of Wands. Now, I didn't shuffle any tarot deck. I got up And spirit literally, sometimes they do this. They'll put like an image of a tarot card in front of my eyes, my third eye. And they said, today's energy is Five of Wands, and it's going on for a while through the eclipse. The Five of Wands in my third eye was to let us know that there is conflict energy in the air. And it may be internal war, struggling with yourself, external, or it might be some petty tit for tat. So there's a bit of conflict energy in the air. It may be internal war, external, or it might be some petty tit for tat. And it's also very hard when things have happened to us, especially if we've had some sort of betrayal or we feel like we've not been seen. We want people to realize the impact that they've had on us. And this is again coming up around who we're loyal to, who are we choosing to respect ourselves, using our power to not hurt ourselves or to hurt anybody else. But there is a way of proving a point to those who have underestimated you and maybe taken you for granted. And this is not, again, a vengeance thing or a revenge thing. It's about the choice you make to set loving and healthy boundaries or speaking in a way that is taking ownership of what you feel without blame. And this again stems back to the interdependence versus independence. We're working together to feel heard and seen, and putting our shoe on the other foot before you decide what to act, or before you decide what to say or act. So putting your shoe on the other foot before you decide what to say or act on, because people often will react on something but then not think about where that other person's intention was coming from. The extended meaning of the Monday mantra. Choices made in the present can heal the past and pave the way for the future. When we're restoring karmic balance, we need to do what is best for us, but also choose to surround yourself with people that reflect who you are and what you are becoming. There's nothing like a week of intense clients for me to really understand what they mean by this. And I saw it so many times this week with various clients where the timelines are merging. There were clients that were saying to me, I had written this down for me to talk about with you. This actually happened 20 years ago in my life, but you're talking about it before I've seen anything from a lifetime before, because I've had to clear that old karma so that that future generation doesn't get it, or that the client of mine isn't repeating it. And this is again, we're all being given the opportunity to heal something in the present now, which is going to heal the timeline that is collapsing at the moment and merging from different realms, in order for us to pave a new future for us, if that's what we're wanting, if we're wanting something more or something different to what we have now, becoming more of ourselves. It was a big week, and it was a lot of things that were happening. And I know it's a very, very intense time for people. So just make sure that you're doing your meditations, that you're allowing plenty of time for yourself, not rushing through things, taking any type of conflict, any type of Five of Wands energy as an opportunity to change something and to become more of who you are. Really expressing yourself. I brought up that word last week somewhere for us to consider, being in our full expression. And you know that I'm only one person. I'm doing the best that I can to see as many of you as possible. I'm not booked out a whole lot in advance, because I just book in what I can, and then I get Kieran to fill in other dates based on how I feel after seeing clients. Because, like, for example, once I was done on Friday, I was so spaced out. I just, needed the weekend to recover. But it's always the right time when you do see me, and there's various ways to see me. Mini readings and personalized meditations are excellent ways to receive guidance, healing, to progress your souls in your own time. And you have the app, obviously, for $60 a year. If you're needing help with renewing or becoming a member, or you're having IT issues, or you're wanting to get on a wait list, email Kieran at soul33@gmail.com, and she will be able to help you. Moving on to this week's Monday mantra, bearing in mind solar eclipse, bearing in mind new moon, bearing in mind it is Mercury retrograde. So take it easy on yourself. I work towards my highest purpose with renewed focus. I work towards my highest purpose with renewed focus. Now, new moons are usually a time to set intentions, but this particular moon phase comes with the solar eclipse while Mercury is in retrograde. This means it's time to revise things and not feel rushed in having to complete or start new things. Mercury retrograde is not really about starting new things. It's about going back and looking at what's there. That's why the choice is in the now. Those of you who are listening to Monday Mantras religiously will know that they all are one chapter leading on to the next one. So it's important that you kind of review all of this so that you understand what life is asking of you. So this particular moon phase, it's a time to have renewed focus on what you know that you want, not about what you think you want. The mind may have changed. You know what you want now. It's all up for review. So even if you don't, it's starting to become clearer. Like that, the night of the 4th of the 4th, I went for a beach walk and everything was still and clear. The ocean was still. The vicinity was clear, meaning we could see islands and things that we don't normally see because it's usually too misty. There's just this clarity that's coming in, even though it can be a chaotic time with eclipses, but the chaos is leading to clarity. There is this power to know, really know what you need and what you are here to do. And this is the higher purpose. What are you here for? Are you here to serve people? Are you here to look after your family? Are you here with a service or a product? Are you here with, what is it? What is your highest purpose here? Coming back to yourself requires some time allocation to accept and ground into what you have in front of you now. It's going to help you figure out this highest purpose. So making decisions this week that are based on your highest purpose and being in a state of looking at things through clarity, looking at things with renewed focus. Eclipses tend to bring up patterns from the past, even in the form of unconscious sabotage. This was happening here over the weekend. Unconscious sabotage and having to look at going, okay, what is the opportunity here to move through into more expansion and excessive abundance, just everything in excess rather than being stuck in a box. This unconscious sabotage, we here listening to this, studying ourselves, need to become more conscious about it. For me, the unconscious sabotage was coming from people around me and I was observing it. This is why the choices we are making now are very, very important. What we are aware of and acknowledge, so what we are aware of and acknowledge enables us to reprioritize what is important for your highest purpose. People often get stuck in their day-to-day lives and are not looking at the bigger, highest purpose of you. They're not realizing that what is blocked within them is actually connected to another aspect of their life where they're not fully being expressed or they're being held back by somebody unconsciously. You're being asked to be adaptable this week because during Mercury retrograde, there are delays, there are people that are postponing things, there are people, causing we're causing it in ourselves as well. So try and be adaptable and just go with it. Loyalty is an underlying theme for April, and you may find yourself speaking up for yourself, others, or perhaps speaking against others if there has been legitimate wrongdoing. This is why it's really careful. We have to be really careful with what we're doing and what we're saying and how we're behaving because people are being called out. Now, we can't please everybody. I know that I can't please everybody, but everything I do is coming from a really good place. It is to serve, and it's not going to please everybody in how I do it because, again, I'm only one person. But when I'm talking about legitimate wrongdoing, I'm talking about unethical behavior, I'm talking about illegal behavior, I'm talking about moral behavior, and these are things that have been coming up a lot in sessions for me. You have the power and influence to be loyal to the side that suits you. the side that is of for the highest purpose of you. Your beliefs will be tested, and you may find yourself following through with things rather than just thinking about it. These won't be necessarily new things because it is Mercury retrograde, but things that you've been meaning to do. I've got lots of things that I've been meaning to do, but I've been waiting for people because they involve other people. You might start hearing from these people, and you might find that things are starting to move a little bit, but in a slow way because it's needing to be reviewed, changing your mind. Do I actually really want that? Is that going to serve my highest good? It's all coming up for that reason. And then coming back to the loyalty, your loyalty may be tested in terms of who and what you are loyal to. Is it to a higher purpose or someone because they are fulfilling a need, or from a place of fear and being cornered? When we are loyal, like me, I'm born in the year of the dog. I feel like I'm a very, very loyal person. But loyalty sometimes can be to people who have power over us. That's where you need to watch that, okay? Is it that you're being loyal because you are afraid that you can't cope without them or that you're too dependent on them? There is sacred energy this week asking you to look at what is important to you. So this is again carrying on from last week with the sacred card coming up. Who and what are you holding as sacred? And it should be your higher purpose beyond the role of Gaia. What am I here doing and helping humanity with? How am I serving? And we're all doing that in our own ways. It doesn't matter how big or small. It still affects everybody. Lots to do, lots to think about. It's also Buddha's birthday this week. And that coming back to knowing who we are, coming back to ourselves. So make sure that you are allocating that time to know thyself. This is why you've got Buddha meditations as part of your homework. Your Monday mantra is, I work towards my highest purpose. What is your highest purpose? And I work towards my highest purpose with a renewed focus. This is what Mercury retrograde is about. So we're going to take a moment now and we're going to ask our spirit guides to help us know what we are here for, to create clarity and clear the chaos in our lives, to enable us to really understand what we've come to Earth for, and to bring the right people who see our light and who want us to shine, and for us to come back to a place of being loyal to our highest purpose and loyal to those people who enable us to be ourselves, to be more of who we are. Remember, I am here for you. Karen is the person to email, soul33@gmail.com. Join a waitlist and you will be notified when it's the right time for you. But for now, do your homework, do your April meditation, add in your Mercury retrograde meditations. I work towards my highest purpose with renewed focus. Until next week.